This video is a collection of two stories, Lazy Bones and Useless Attentions. Lazy Bones. In a certain village, there was a rich man who had a daughter named Sukumari. She was so hopelessly lazy that she never did a stroke of work but always played with kittens. When she was old enough to marry, Sukumari turned down several youths before she chose a good looking but poor young man. Before marriage, she made him swear that he would never scold or hit her. After going to her husband, Sukumari did not change her habits in the least. She played with her pet kitten all the time. She seemed to have no other interest in life except the kitten. Her husband did not know what to do about it. The house was in a state of utter neglect. His food was never ready in time. If he questioned her about these things, she gave evasive replies. The poor fellow very soon came to the end of his patience. He had a great urge to chastise his lazy wife, but he restrained himself. In the end, he thought of a way to teach the girl a good lesson. As he was going out one morning, he addressed the kitten she was playing with. Look here, kitty. By the time I come back at noon, keep the whole house in order. Cook food and keep it ready. I shall punish you severely if I find anything amiss. Then he went away. When he returned home, nothing was changed. Sukumari was playing with the kitten as usual. The husband got wild. He tore the kitten from his wife's hands, and the kitten tried to hold on to her so desperately that Sukumari's hands were badly clawed. What did I tell you this morning? He shouted at the kitten. With that, he began to beat the kitten severely. On top of the pain caused by the scratching, Sukumari was very much hurt to see her pet being beaten. Stop it, she cried. What is the use of beating the poor thing? It can't even understand you. How can you expect a kitten to keep your house clean? The husband flung the kitten away as he said, I don't know all that. I know that I have a right to dictate to the kitten only. I shall exercise that right. Even after this, there was no change in Sukumari. The next day, the husband found no improvement in the state of affairs when he came home at noon. He beat the kitten very severely for it. Sukumari was once again clawed by the kitten. Sukumari was astonished at her husband's behavior. You will kill that cat unnecessarily. It can never understand what you want, she told her husband. But you understand me, don't you? If you are afraid of losing the kitten, you can do what all I want the kitten to do, her husband retorted. After that, the house was always kept faultlessly neat and food was ready in time. Love for the kitten transformed Sukumari into a good wife. Useless attentions. A certain Jamindar bought a fine Arab horse with a pedigree by paying a lot of money. His whole mind was so taken up with the horse that he could think of nothing else night or day. He got a palace like stable built for this horse. He was afraid that hired men would not tend the horse with the necessary care, and he undertook the grooming of the horse himself. This was indeed a very great honor to the horse. Twice a day the Jamindar went to see his horse and groomed him with his own hands. All the same, the horse began to get thin gradually. Its shining coat lost its luster and the bones began to push up through the skin. At last, the Jamindar said to the horse in great agony, I bestow so much care on you. I even groom you myself. But you look sick as though there were none to care for you. What is the reason? Sir, replied the horse in a feeble voice, what benefit is it to me that you care for me, put me up in a palace and groom me yourself? You have entirely forgotten the most primary of my needs, food. I have had no food since you bought me and I am starving. Stop this grooming and give me food and I shall look well again.